Welcome back. It's time for Discovery Science. Joe Taylor from the Discovery Science Center here in Cape Girardeau. Discovery Playhouse is here with me this morning. Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So what are we going to be doing today?
Well, with all the storms approaching our area, I figured now's a good time to teach the public about static electricity. Yes. With all the charges in the air, we see a lot of lightning around this area around this time of year, and it's a good opportunity to learn what static electricity is and how it works.
Yeah. And so what's our first experiment that we have?
Yeah, the first thing we got here is something that the kiddos at home can do very easily. All you need is just some bubble solution.
Yeah.
Rub a little bit of it on a flat surface and then use a straw or something to blow up a bubble on that surface. And then you can use a balloon. I got one just down here, and this balloon has a material that is good at pulling electrons away from other things like air. So if I rub this on my head, what the friction is causing electrons to leave my head and go into the balloon. Now there's a lot of electrons here, negatively charged, which means this is negative, this is positive, which means they will attract each other actually. And if we get a nice bubble going here, let me see if I can get a good bubble. There we go. The charge, you can see it's actually moving that bubble around a little bit there. If you have a really nice slick surface, you can even have the balloon chase the bubble chase the balloon around the surface. There it goes. Fairly cool there.
Look at that.
Yeah. You can even have bubble races.
Yeah.
2 people. Yeah. The grown-ups at home can race their friends, their little ones at the table.
That's super cool. Yeah. Awesome. How neat. And such a easy experiment that you can do. Who doesn't have bubbles at home? Who doesn't have a balloon? You can do all of that.
And a good opportunity to teach about the positive and negative charges too.
That is super cool. So what do we have there? What's this monstrosity?
This contraption here is a Van de Graaff generator. It's essentially a static electricity generator. It has this rubber belt right here. We can turn on a motor, and that motor will spin the rubber belt. What that rubber belt is doing, because of these different materials, the rubber belt is taking electrons from a metal comb inside, taking those electrons up and then depositing those electrons around this big metal sphere here. Oh, wow. So this big metal sphere will be full of negatively charged electrons, so which creates a big negative charge. Generally, we're positively charged, which can create a current through us. This thing is capable of generating anywhere from 50 to up to 200,000 volts of electricity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the voltage doesn't really matter. Even the balloon that I just showed you can get an incredible amount of voltage. What's really dangerous is when we talk about things like current and amperage. But yeah, this thing can give you quite the shock. If you wouldn't mind turning on that switch there, we can see the belt turning around here. Right now it's building up charge, right? You see the electrons are going up and being deposited. If you bring your hand close, you can actually probably feel that static in the air.
I'm nervous.
And if you hold on to this is insulated, so if you bring the ball close.
How close? Like touch
you'll know it. And then it'll start to give off a little charge there.
Oh.
Yeah, there it goes. Now the longer you wait for that charge to form, the greater the sparks will be.
So like if I just hold it here, will the sparks get?
Oh no, actually if you move it away and let it charge up.
This is charging up.
Yeah, and you can actually touch it yourself and give ourselves a little shock too.
Does it hurt?
No, not really. Kind of like a joy buzzer or something.
Just kind of like a, Yeah. All right, let's see if we can. Look at
there it goes. And with this change in static electricity, we can get these kind of negative currents to be going around. And with these alternating charges, you can create some really interesting scenarios. I actually got some pie tins over here. If you want to turn this off real quick, I can actually let this dissipate, put these on, and these are going to be met with that alternating charges of the static. And we can see what happens here. Ready? And with the there they go. With the alternating charges, they want to repel each other. These are called repelling charges. And if it's done really right, they can't even go airborne sometimes. It's super fun when they do that.
Kind of like just shoot off or whatever?
Yeah, with the humidity in the air, it's a very humid environment right now. They might not want to go with all this humidity. And again, we can try to discharge that one more time. There we go. And balancing them can be a bit of a hassle too. But we can try that one more time there. Make sure it's discharged. Okay. Let's go hit that switch one more time. We'll see. Again, with the humidity, it might not have as much of a negative charge. But you can see they do want to move around when the motor starts up. Maybe if I take one off.
Trial and error.
Or try one. Whoop. Yeah, it's probably with the humidity today, they're not really wanting to cooperate, but that's okay. It's a really cool one. You can even do this with like regular aluminum foil, putting it on there. And again, you can just, this is a really good example of how we can use static electricity. This actually used to be used for nuclear development, nuclear research.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can use, they use them to investigate subatomic particles. Nowadays, it's just used for educational purposes. It's very, very cool.
And then I know that we talked about this a little bit before we came on, is that at the Magic House, they have, I guess it's a bigger version that's up in St. Louis, a bigger version of this where you can go in and you kind of get your hair all crazy.
Yeah.
And then you touch it like this and it will make your hair stand up. Does this have the, capacity to do that as well?
In theory, it should have the same potential with the humidity in the air. It might not be as effective, but do you want to try it?
Sure.
Yeah, all you got to do is put your hand on here. You won't feel a shock until we start up the machine. So there you go.
So then should I like mess up my hair?
What you can do is you can put your hand on there and let yourself charge up a little bit, and then when you're ready, just kind of like flip your hair around to try to get the air to have those charges.
Okay, so how long do you think I should hold?
You can probably try moving your hair around right now, actually.
Should I take my hand off?
No, keep your hand on there, yeah, and just start ruffling your hair up. And again,
I don't know if anything.
I can see a little bit of charge going on there. It even works if you bring your hair just physically closer to
Will
you.
it then?
Yeah, if you move your hand away and then move your head toward, you can feel the charges going on, and your hair will start being attracted. You can definitely feel it at that point. There it goes. Yeah, you can see it sticking because of the positive and negative charges.
That's super
very
neat.
cool. Yeah.
And so then, do you guys have this out at Discovery Playhouse for the kids and families to see, or is that something that you kind of make an experience for?
This is something we usually use for experiences. We often take this on the road to outside events and stuff like that. But we also are planning to do Science Saturdays.
Oh, that's super
where we can
cool.
come in and show off these kinds of really cool experiments to the public.
Well, that is awesome. Thanks so much for teaching us all about static electricity. This was super cool and super fun. We hope you all enjoyed it. And that first experiment, you can definitely do at home.
Easy.
It'd be a perfect thing to do today because it's so hot outside. You don't even want to have to go outside. So definitely give that a try. We'll be right back.